I'm going to start making short videos explaining how I would memorize different types of information. So if you have any ideas, let me know. We're going to focus on how to memorize a recipe. So this is what I would do. The very first thing I would do is I would create any systems I might need. Right here you can see you have numbers, you have different measurements, and so creating a system is something you might need to make the whole process a lot easier. Because once you have that system done, you can apply it to more recipes, right? So that would be the first thing I would do. The second thing I would do is I would create a memory palace because look, we have a step-by-step process. And a memory palace is fantastic because it keeps the order of information, which you want to keep the order of these different steps. So I would create a memory palace. Now the third thing I would do is I would actually start memorizing this information. But this is how I would go about it. So the very first location would have whatever the recipe is for. In this case, the classic birthday cake. Because it doesn't make sense to have a recipe, but you don't know what it's for, what it's creating, right? The second location would have this information right here. So it's kind of like the time it takes to actually make this recipe. This is really important because if you don't have enough time to make the recipe and you start making it, you're not going to be able to finish, or you might just have to scrap everything and waste all that food. And so this would be in the second location. The third location, and maybe a couple other locations, would have the ingredients. Now here we have two. We have the cake ingredients and the frosting ingredients. So maybe the third location would have the cake ingredients. The fourth location will have the frosting ingredients. Kind of depends on how many ingredients you have. Some recipes might have a lot, others might have a few. So you kind of have to play on it when you actually have the recipe in front of you. Then after all that was memorized, all this information, I will actually start memorizing the different steps. But I won't memorize every single word because that's a waste of time and you don't need to memorize that stuff, right? You just need to remember the main points of it. So right here, step one, preheat the oven to 325. That's really important, right? What kind of pre-cut that you want to use, the cake pan, stuff like that. So things like that are really important. So that's what I would memorize, not all these extra words. That's a waste of time. And then I would keep going until I memorize every single step. And that's it. That's how I would memorize a recipe. So it was very quick. I kind of just point out I would do this, this, and this on how to memorize the recipe, but that's the whole point of these new videos I'm going to be making, kind of showing you very quickly how I would go out and actually memorize the different information that I'm currently memorizing. So if you have any ideas, just let me know and I'll make a video on it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video and I'll see you next time.